Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. Well, I thought I would do a video where I talk about my most anticipated films of this year, 2021. Now, as we all know, 2020 was a disastrous year for the movie industry and for cinemas in general. I did a similar video to this last year, and I have done for the last couple of years, but I generally do a top 10 list of my most anticipated films of the coming year. However, so many films from last year, 2020, got bumped forward to this year, 2021, so many of these that I'm going to talk about are films that were on my list for last year, but there are some that are being released this year that I am also excited to check out as well. So this isn't a top 10 list. In fact, I think there's 21 films that I'm going to talk about. So let's look at these upcoming films together. Right, the first three films that I want to talk about that I'm looking forward to seeing this year. The first one is called The Father, and it is an Anthony Hopkins, Olivia Colman film. Two incredible actors, and essentially the buzz I'm hearing about this makes it sound a pretty special film. And essentially Anthony Hopkins plays an aging gentleman with dementia, but the way it's been filmed is really quite unique, and they change actors and actresses depending on the perspective of Anthony Hopkins, because it's told completely from his perspective, having dementia. It's a subject matter that really interests me, so therefore it's a film I'm really interested in seeing. The next one is the new M. Night Shyamalan film. Now, I don't know if it's called Old, that's just the picture I found on the net, but he has got a new film coming out this year, so I am looking forward to seeing it. And of course, we have the new Ghostbusters film that should have come out last year, June I believe. Obviously it's been bumped forward to March I think this year. Just can't wait for it, simply put. The next three films that I'm interested in checking out, we have No Time to Die, that was supposed to be released last year. I'm not a Bond mega fan or anything like that, but I am certainly looking forward to checking this out. It's Daniel Craig's swan song, and let's see if they can deliver a really top-notch Bond film. A Quiet Place Part 2, another film from last year, should have been. Not an awful lot to say about this one. The first one was excellent, really, really good, so therefore I am looking forward to checking out number 2. And the next one is Black Widow. Now, I'm sure this is going to be top quality. I really am. It's Marvel. It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's going to be a bloody good film. But it feels like it's too little too late for this character. This film should have happened 5 years ago, I would argue. Maybe even more than that. But it is still a film that I am looking forward to quite a lot. And it's a film I'm sure will be very good. The next three films. The first one is Free Guy, Ryan Reynolds' film. Just the concept alone sounds fascinating to me. He apparently plays an NPC in a video game, quite a violent video game, a bit like Grand Theft Auto, I suppose. And he is trying to, I don't know, break free, I suppose, from his character. Next one is Godzilla vs. Kong. Another film that should have come out, I believe, last year. Now, I'm not a fan of the first Godzilla film. I've mentioned that numerous times on the channel. I did enjoy the second one, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Kong vs. Godzilla. I thought Kong was a good film, so I think this will be a pretty good film too. And the third film here that I want to mention is The Conjuring 3. Now, I think you could argue that the saturating the market a little bit too much for these Conjuring films, but I'm still looking forward to it. Now then, the next batch. We have The Suicide Squad, and even though the first one got a lot of flack, I don't hate the film, but it's certainly not a great film. I'm hoping this film will be the film the first one was meant to be. It's directed by James Gunn. I think DC really did a good thing by grabbing James Gunn to do this film. It does look pretty interesting. The cast is pretty cool. Let's see if they can deliver this time round, because DC need a hit, certainly after Wonder Woman. Candyman. Now, I'm interested and intrigued by this one. I'm a big fan of the first film. The buzz about this one isn't great, if I'm honest, but I'm really hoping it can deliver, and it is a real good scare fest. But I'll be honest, I have some doubts about it. And one of my really most anticipated films of this year is Dune, the Denis Villeneuve film. big fan of the Dune film from the 80s, even though not many people like that. I like the miniseries too. I really hope this is fantastic. Right, the next three that I want to mention. The first one is Uncharted, the Tom Holland Uncharted film. If you don't know what Uncharted is, it's a series of PlayStation games, fantastic PlayStation games. They've been threatening to turn it into a film for many, many years. They did do a fan film with Nathan Fillion, which was brilliant, and you can watch on YouTube. But they have cast Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. Let's hope it can deliver, and it really is the Uncharted film we fans of the game series deserve. Halloween Kills, not much to say on this one. The first one was a real big hit, a smash hit really in regards to horrors. The second one was always going to happen if the first one was a success, so it was inevitable really, so let's hope it continues with the top quality. And Eternals. Now, the reason why I'm interested in this one is for the same reason why Guardians of the Galaxy initially didn't interest me, but it was brilliant, and I'm hoping this is going to be like that. Right. These ones are all a bit, you know, we haven't seen much on these. We've heard a lot about these next three. The first one is the new Spider-Man film, the Tom Holland Spider-Man film. All sorts of rumours going around that they're going to bring back Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, the Sinister Six. There's going to be all this weird stuff going on in it. Sounds brilliant. I hope they can deliver. The new Mission Impossible 7 film. Tom Cruise has been in the press recently for all the wrong reasons, bellowing at the crew members about COVID and things like that. I'm a big fan of the Mission Impossible films, certainly from Ghost Protocol onwards, and we all know this is going to be a top-notch action adventure film of the highest quality. And the most interesting one here in this batch of three is Matrix 4. Never expected we'd get another Matrix. Keanu Reeves is red hot right now in Hollywood. Please be good, because the final two Matrix films weren't really. And the final three that I want to talk about here, we've got Sherlock Holmes 3. Big fan of the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes films. Love the first one. I do like the second one. I do think they kind of mishandled the whole Moriarty story a little bit. It was a little bit dull in parts, but it is still very enjoyable. So I'm really up for the third one. Mortal Kombat. Primed and ready to be rebooted, this franchise. It has been for a number of years. It's still got its fans, the original Mortal Kombat film. So fingers crossed that they can deliver here a really brilliant film that is worthy of the game franchise. And the Dwayne Johnson film, Black Adam. This has been in the pipeline for many, many years. DC really need a big year, and let's be honest, this does sound absolutely fantastic, so let's just hope they can deliver a brilliant film. So there you go, guys. Those are the 21 films that I'm interested in checking out in the year 2021. Do you see what I did there? Now then, there's so many films here to digest. Many of them, as I mentioned, were supposed to come out last year. So I think it's going to be a bumper year this year for cinema, depending on where we are with COVID. Hopefully by the summer we'll be able to pack cinemas out again safely, and enjoy our hobby and go back and check out all these films at the cinema, because I think this year could be an incredible year for cinema and movies after what could only be described as a fairly disappointing 2020, even though there were some pretty good films released in that year. So let me know in the comments, guys. Are there any films that I've missed that you're interested in checking out? Pop it in the comments. And of course, I will be here to review all these films this year with you guys. So thank you for all your support, and I will see you very soon with more content on the channel.